On April 2nd, Nintendo fans gathered around in excitement as the long-awaited Switch 2 was finally set to be revealed. After nearly a decade without a new console, everyone was hyped and this was clearly a big moment. Expectations were high, and for once, it felt like Nintendo was ready to make their huge comeback. But then, it goes without saying, the reveal came and went, and things quickly went south the moment the prices were dropped. Today, we're gonna talk about how Nintendo somehow managed to fumble the easiest bag in gaming history. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it for you. The facts are simple, very much similar to the high price for eggs in the US. Nintendo has decided to help their fellow struggling consumers by pricing their games at a very reasonable $90 freaking dollars.
But Magic, you're just being sarcastic, right? Surely that's just for big new titles like Mario or Zelda.
Nope. That price tag applies to everything, even to games you already own. Wanna play Mario Party on the next-gen console? Well, you're in luck! For the low price of $90, you get to enjoy the same game with a few extra minigames! And their weird new mouse gimmick for some reason. Forget having new boards, characters, and any actual update. That takes effort! And clearly, Nintendo is not known for putting in effort. Ugh, you guys are just idiots for expecting so much of this billion-dollar company! Show more compassion. By the way, how are we even supposed to play this thing? Are they expecting us to rub Joy-Cons on the floor? Cause that's like super grossy. The ground is dirty. I feel like most people play on their couches or beds. We should try rubbing the mice on the floor to summon the spirit of Iwata at this point. Rest in peace. If you're a real Nintendo fan, you know damn well they were gonna come up with a new gimmick. Only real ones would have known that the next big thing for Nintendo would be arm-and-leg pricing for a single game. It's truly revolutionary. I mean, how did they come up with this stuff? To everyone who thinks the issue applies to only the USA, think again. It's Mr. Krabs' types of stinginess on an international level. It's just another case of Americans having main character syndrome. These prices are outright criminal. So before anyone tries to claim the issue is about tariffs, y'all need to remember that the United States is not the only country on this planet. Because the Switch is literally $685 in Sweden. Nintendo is basically outpricing their own consumer base. And as a result, creating a precedent that only the rich and wealthy will have the luxury of owning the Switch 2. As if it were something extravagant in the first place. The incredible amount of audacity you need to pull such a scummy move during a recession is literally astonishing. I just have no words to explain how unbelievably out of touch a company has to be in order to do this. The question then becomes, why does Nintendo think they can get away with it? I believe the answer is simple. It's because we let them. Hear me out. Nintendo is known to have fans that will eat up any shit they serve them on a silver platter. And don't even get me started on resellers ruining the market as well. Let's take Pokemon Sword and Shield for example. It is one of the worst Pokemon games to release on the Switch. The game ran like a premature baby, just uncooked with no Kyophone graphics, and still somehow managed to sell 26 million copies worldwide. That's not even close to the lowest a Pokemon game can even sell. The lowest a Pokemon game has ever sold is 6.3 million copies. And resellers are pricing it in thousands! The joke just writes itself at this point. The problem is, even when products are garbage, fans still eat it up, just because it has the Nintendo brand. Most franchises would kill a bitch to have millions as their worst number. If that's not cult behavior, then I don't know what is at this point. Nintendo could literally drop a game about Bowser clapping his cheeks sensually, and fans would still pre-order it. We are giving them the impression that people will eat whatever shit they get served, even if it's literal shit with basil on top. The way we spend makes them feel entitled to our money. I feel like the rise in prices might make sense if the quality matched in favor, but it doesn't. I mean, what the fuck even is this, where a tech demo goes for $80 and it doesn't even look a shrimp of graphically impressive? That game better be fun as hell. Otherwise, they're just blatantly throwing crap out there and hoping Nintendo fans do what they do best and buy it anyway. The people who say the console price is fair are genuinely coping. Because you're trying to tell me that the Switch 2 had a decade to finally show up and were met with bare minimum specs for a modern console. The handheld itself comes in 1080p. It's fucking 2025. Even phones have 4K resolution now. Get real. All I'm saying is, they're not gonna win the console wars with this one. That Switch 2 better come with a diamond rhinestone butt plug, since they want to fuck everyone so badly anyway. I genuinely believe Iwata is what made Nintendo as great as they used to. Dude was the original GOAT. During the Wii U crisis, Nintendo was facing major financial problems. Iwata halved his salary so that his team could still hold a job and avoid layoffs. He was for the people since day one. Unlike most CEOs, this man actually has a heart and soul. The reason why is because before receiving his high status, Iwata used to be a programmer, so he knew firsthand what the industry was like and showed very high respect and compassion for his team. He's probably the only CEO that is genuinely in touch with the workers and consumers alike.
On my business card, I am a corporate president. In my mind, I am a game developer. But in my heart, I am a gamer.
It really is sad that we lost such a humble man that helped shape our childhoods. I hope that he rests in peace, and that eventually Nintendo can learn a thing or two and become humbled once more. The impact Iwata had on many is prevalent, so much so that workers like Sakurai made a tribute regarding how much Iwata meant to him. If you want to, I suggest checking that video out, but, you know, only after mine, or I'll punch you in the tit. Now we're stuck with one-slur type levels of businessmen who are only there for their bottom line. Nintendo for real lost what made them special. In a world where gaming has become so competitive, Nintendo used to be the bridge that offered a space for casual gamers, families, and kids to just enjoy gaming without all the intensity.
A new goal for our company, expanding the total number of people who play games. In order to do this, we needed to target not only current gamers, but two different types of consumers. Those who once played but who had lost interest, and even those who had never played before.
It just feels like they've forgotten the art of treating their consumers with respect. They're literally shooting themselves in the foot and messing with the people who fund their paychecks. People are gonna have to choose between buying the next Zelda or paying their actual electricity bill. We're truly living in pathetic times, where at this point, gaming would rightfully be classified as a privilege, rather than a casual hobby. Nintendo had the easiest formula for winning this console generation. It's like the ball was taped and super glued to their hands, and they still somehow managed to fumble it. All Nintendo had to do was make the Switch 2 have games included at a fair price. But because of their greed, people have to second guess whether it's even worth it or not to buy. It's a horrible time to be a Nintendo fan for sure. We're all too busy buying $12 eggs to even consider one $80 game. That's about 20% of the average minimum wage paycheck. So, after all of this, you might be wondering, what can we do now? And honestly, literally nothing. I love how people are saying we should boycott Nintendo, as if we could even afford not to in the first place. Nintendo bit the hands that feed them. Naturally, there's gonna be consequences. This is a time where fans can finally stand up on business and set higher standards for megacorporations robbing us of quality games and exploitive financial strategies. The thing is, as a consumer base, our voice is within our dollars. They need to be severely humbled and understand that no one will tolerate this bullshit and spend schmeckles on rose-tinted shit, because at the end of the day, when people finally take their glasses off, they'll see they're still spending money on shit no matter how it's disguised. After all, what is the one thing companies live off more than anything? So please, if you want to make a difference, please spend wisely and take care of yourself first before giving a cent to a billion-dollar company that doesn't even care about you. Nintendo's demographic is largely average people, such as families and children. Naturally, no matter what, I think they'll see what happens when you try to cheap out on your majority population. If you want to see just how bad these prices are, well, I put together a little presentation for you to really help your mind ingrain just how scummy this whole situation is. That's all I have to say, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you'd like to see more of my stuff, please subscribe and leave a like. I plan on doing a full comeback for this channel, so I wouldn't want you to miss out on anything new. I would love to know what your thoughts are on this situation as well, so feel free to leave a comment. Thank you for watching if you got this far. Okay, bye!
None.
Huh?
None.
Huh?
None.
Oh.